At the hospital, Portia begs Elizabeth to please join her for a drink out tonight. Liz says she could use it as she's been filling in for Bobby, pulling double duty as chief surgical nurse and temporary head nurse. Portia says hopefully soon they'll find someone to fill Epiphany's shoes, but Liz doubts anyone can fill them. Finn and Terry appear, and they inform Liz the board just briefed them on her future here at the hospital. Terry says Epiphany's recommendation that she take over as head nurse was presented. Monica also gave Liz her endorsement, and it was an almost unanimous vote to give Liz the job. Terry says Monica was called away and wanted to extend the offer herself, so she hopes she doesn't mind her best friend doing so. Liz can't believe this is happening and says she couldn't have done this without any of them. Finn is sure she could have. Liz excuses herself. Terry says she'll start getting Liz's paperwork filed, and says she also was given funds for a second in charge under her and wonders if either Finn or Portia would be interested. Both give her a hard pass. Terry exits, and Finn asks Portia how she's been. She says things have been complicated, but Curtis moved back in, and they are still working things out. She's holding out hope they can salvage this relationship. She notices Finn looking over at Liz, and thinks he knows how she feels. Liz calls her gran from the memorial wall area to give her the good news. She looks at the photo of Epiphany, and then her grandfather, and hopes she's made him proud. Finn and Portia approach, and Portia suggests they go celebrate at the Metro Court, and Terry said she'd meet them later. Liz invites Finn to come, but he says he has paperwork to do, but they should have fun. Michael visits Willow in her room now that he has clearance. He asks how she's feeling. She's exhausted but excited that their family can finally be whole again. Drew stops by to check on Willow, and she thanks him for what he did to bring Obrecht back. She knows her story might have had a different ending if the SEC caught up with him first. After Drew leaves, Michael has news for Willow. He assures her that he meant it when he said he'd drop his vendetta against Sonny, but his mother has the evidence now and could use it to save herself. Willow says whatever Carly decides, she'll support her and his family just as they supported her. Later, Terry stops in to check on Willow and run a few tests, so she needs Michael to step out. In Zeke's Metro courtroom, he and Jordan have a passionate evening. Afterward, Zeke asks if she's still thinking about that kiss with her ex. She sighs but says perhaps it's time she does start having a little no-strings-attached fun. Zeke gets a bunch of texts from a client trying to get hold of him. He apologizes but must get back to them. He returns the client's call, who turns out to be Drew. Drew asks Zeke to meet him at the Metro court pool. Meanwhile, Jordan dresses, and Zeke asks for her number. Instead, she offers her phone for him to put his number into so she can call him, should she decide to. Later, Zeke takes off to meet his client, but leaves his room key behind. Jordan finds it and thinks he'll need it. In the bar, Valentin leaves a message with Anna to call him. He runs into Martin and asks him where Anna is. Martin doesn't know where she is, but assures him that she's not in danger and just has a lot on her mind. He thinks Anna will reach out to him in time. Valentin gets a text, which isn't fro Anna, but his business. At their table, Ned and Olivia celebrate that they're no longer at odds. Nana approaches them and comments that they seem happy. Ned says his wife now knows he didn't turn Carly and Drew into the SEC. Olivia explains she looked into Ned's heart and knows he's innocent, and now Sonny is coming around. Nina squirms and says they must be so relieved, and she'll leave them alone. Ned wonders about Nina's awkwardness. Olivia notes Nina would love nothing more than for her and Carly to be at their throats. Olivia believes they need to put this family back together and start doing so by finding out who tipped off the SEC. Nana approaches Valentin and Martin at the bar and tells Valentin how sorry she is to hear about what the WSB has done to Anna. He thanks her but says he has to go. Martin tells Nina he came to see her as he has news. They move to the terrace and Martin warns her the feds are leaning on him to give her up as the SEC tipster. He says the feds are trying to get Carly to flip on Sonny. Drew meets with Zeke up at the pool bar and thanks him for coming. He wants Zeke, as his lawyer, to call the SEC and orchestrate a deal. Zeke assumes he's going to turn in Carly, but Drew's turning himself in. Drew explains the feds are trying to get Carly to flip on Sonny, but he knows she won't. He tells them that his going down makes the most sense out of the three of them. Zeke advises him against this.